إِنَّا أَعْطَيْنَاكَ الْكَوْثَرِ. We've given you the greatest, the most abundant good.
If you look at the closest star to us, it's the sun. Now the sun has a radius, like from its center outwards, of 510 kilometers. So if you imagine the sun to be a ball that big, 1 meter in radius, 2 meters in diameter, a sphere, and red hot, so it radiates an immense amount of heat. Surface temperature 15 million degrees centigrade, hot. Then our earth, on which your kingdom, your politics, your family, your wife, your life, your governments, your technology, your childhood, from which you come into the whole of your life, is on a 9 millimeter little speck, like a ball with a radius of 9 millimeters, that big. Chucked some 200 meters away, that away, from this red scorching sun. Earth is there. If you were to get that little tiny weeny little earth and flick it at the sun, it would pop like popcorn. You know how you have popcorn? You would have earth corn. Poof. And that sun can take 1.3 million earths inside it. But that sun is the closest star to us. When you look up at the sky, all those twinkles are other stars, bigger than our suns. Some 100 light years away, like it takes light at the speed 100 years before it reaches you from that star. And yet all of those twinkles, all of those suns, all of those stars is just in the first heaven. قال تعالى وَزَيَّنَّا السَّمَاءَ الدُّنْيَا بِمَصَابِيحِ. We decorated the sky of this world with those twinkles. And the hadith says, the first sky compared to the second sky is like a ring in the desert. Visualize that. The second sky to the third sky like a ring in the desert. So inside that first ring, somewhere there is little earth and little sun. Are you growing an appreciation of how minutely insignificant you are? So if I were to look for you from the second heaven, I couldn't find you with an electron microscope. Then the second to the third, a ring in the desert. Third to the fourth, a ring in the desert. Fourth to the fifth, a ring in the desert. Fifth to the sixth, a ring in the desert. Sixth to the seventh, a ring in the desert. And yet, Subhan al-Khaliq, Allah Rabbul Izzah created it all. And then you, insignificant little thing, on an insignificant little thing, grow the audacity to raise up against the Lord. I want you to grasp an understanding of who Allah is. Listen, listen. Allah Rabbul Izzah says, وَمَا قَدَرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. And they didn't appreciate or understand Allah Rabbul Izzah as He should have been understood and appreciated. You didn't realize who Allah is as it was His haqq to be realized. And then He gives you an understanding of who His majesty is. Listen. قال تعالى وَالْأَرْضُ جَمِيعًا قَبْضَتُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. The earth in its entirety is in His hand in the day of judgment. وَالسَّمَاوَاتُ مَطْوِيَّاتٌ بِيَمِينِهِ. And the 7 heavens scrolled up in His right. Subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yushrikun. Glory be to Him. How high is He above the little things you associate with Him. Can you now understand how silly it is for a man to take a stone, an animal, a human, a grave, a building as adjacent gods to the Lord? Like Subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yushrikun. How high is He above all those things that you associate with Him?